Hello everybody, welcome back to episode Blue Archive. In the last part, we took down Malkuth, sort of. We got her core, we got the last core, we got our last USB, but shit's gearing up to something pretty big. I don't got a bad thing about this. We got another showdown we gotta do, so I figured we're gonna do another community-wide raid battle. We gotta see what's going on here. Aimee finally got released. I pulled for Aimee because I really loved her. I really liked her variants. I was gonna try to pull for Yuzu, but unfortunately Aimee literally took me all the way to 200 pity. So I'm not pulling for Yuzu. So unfortunate, but it had to be done. I wanted Aimee. So out of all the anniversary units, I skipped out on Yuzu, and then the other two. I can't. Yeah. So I can't. The names aren't computing in my brain right now. I've had a long day, so don't judge me. So I missed out of 3 out of the 7. No. 3 out of the 6 anniversary units that were in the gacha. Toki doesn't count because she was a free unit. So maybe next fest rerun I'll pull for those two. Pull for those 3. So we'll just see what happens. But for now, we got a story to continue. So let's do it. Let's check it out. Vanished. Alright, what's going on here? What just happened? I thought Malkuth was their elder sister. Weren't they supposed to be on the same side? Affirmative. I found the behavior unusual. This also was a ruse. However, the children's reactions do not align with that hypothesis. What's at least certain is that it appears to be some sort of ritual, but I can't make out what the goal is here. Just what are they trying to do? The energy that was rapidly converging on Malkuth and Steel Continent as well. They've stabilized. Key, do you have any insight? As if. Can't pretend to stand the mind of a zealot. But I'm more concerned about it. Please, we'll do anything! We'll really do anything, so please don't take our elder sister away from us. Take me! There must be a sacrifice, and I'll be it! I'll die in elder sister's stead. What did she mean by that? Sensei! Sensei, watch out! Huh? I fell as Key, RS, Rio shoved me out of the way. Sensei, are you okay? What happened? Watch your feet! Another wave is coming! Oh, the place is falling apart. The walls! Rio! Sorry, I slipped. Uh-oh. They're creating the walls to separate us. Jeez, at least the shaking stopped. This reminds me of back then. When? I'm curious too, Key. Back in Eridu. We used to steal off the CNC students from each other, remember? I am able to remember that well. But not like a regular memory. This is from watching my own dream from someplace just out of reach. Because that is when Key and I were one. Key, about them. Let me guess. I'm sorry, this is all my fault, or if only I were a little better. Save me the dramatics. Key? Key? Life was a tangled knot of inexplicable twists and turns. There exist things in this world that are out of your control. Even for you, Rio. Sitting here and pontificating on who is to blame for what regarding things long past sounds like a colossal waste of time. It doesn't matter right now. In fact, there are much more pressing matters to address. What I'm concerned about is how we're going to get through this, and how we're going to get home safely. That's what matters to me, because do or die, I am going to make it back. I don't care if I have to confront God or fate, or transforming robots. I'll cling on to this life until the bitter end. Here, here, Key. I feel the same way. Here, here. No matter what, I want Key to make it home. You misunderstood me entirely, Sensei. Did you think I only meant myself? There's no making it back if it's not with everyone we came with. All said. Please wipe that grin off your face. Alright, team, let's get moving. What direction? Anywhere is better than staying put here. We'll begin with gathering as much data as we can. You search for Himari and Emmy, and Toki too. Yes, I will take points since I'm the party's hero. Reliable as always, Aris. Hold on. What is that? What? I turned my head to the direction Rio was pointing. Then I saw it, out beyond the wall. Oh. Uh-oh. The existence we had once known as Malkuth had warped into something else. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Children. Oh. She left? Malkuth. Are you worried about her, Aris? Living is suffering. We were not born out of our own will, but rather as ignorant beings forced into existence. This life you so desperately cling to is one filled with contradictions which demand pain from its participants. They dare judge us for wishing to end the cycle of suffering. Please think about it. About our goal. Why we are here. Is that someone crying? Seems so. Momoi? Midori? Let's go. We haven't confirmed their identity, Sensei. It could be the enemy. Hey, Sensei! Get back here! Sensei bolted off. Guess I can't say I'm surprised. Aris, let's go. Yes! Sensei, come back! I will protect you. Is it one of the children? Despite how clearly we could hear the crying, finding the source was harder than we expected. The maze of walls would shift and change as we walked through, complicating the task even further. Then, finally... We're getting closer. Just on this wall. Aren't they? There they are. Huh? What are you doing here? I was caught off guard when Soft lunged at me with a star. You! This is your fault! If only you never came here! Why'd you have to come? Huh? Why couldn't you just stayed away? Sensei! Sensei? Wait a second. Saw small clenched hands hit me again and again, but there was no force behind them. Like a toddler throwing a tantrum. If only you had then Zelda's sister! Stop it! Please, stop now. Ein, why? Because nothing we do holds meaning anymore. Everything is over, Soft. Oh boy. Our sister is dead. We killed her. We killed her. We did! We murdered her! Stabbed, shattered, eradicated every last particle of her data, her history, her records, her memories, every trace, every hint, gone by our hands. It is a curse to exist, a curse to feel. Why is it that love and loss must be so indelibly bound? Why? If this is what it is to feel, I want none of it. Take my vision, my voice, my heart, my free will. Useless. It's all useless to me. Oh, if only I had been born blind and deaf, then I'd never learned to speak. It would have been mercy. Why must I suffer through an existence I never asked for? Why did you come find us? With all you've done to get in our way. Do you know? We possess no halos. We were never granted the mystic, and so we were excluded from miracles in the sublime. Secrets we would never be allowed to know. But still, we can speak. We think for ourselves and make our own decisions. We can feel. How unfair. If we had commanded terror for ourselves, and perhaps things could have ended differently. But we endured all of it. None of it mattered. Even if we never received a thing on our lives. And even if we were nothing but shadows of existences to begin with. None if it mattered? I think of a little typo there. None of it mattered. Because we had a little sister. As long as we could be with her and making new memories together. Because eldest sister had a halo. We could have... Then you guys! If only you didn't exist. Then, eldest sister, still be alive. We could have lived together happily and forever and ever. Do whatever you want to us. There's no meaning anymore. We tried everything we could, and this is the result. This is the end of the story. There is no happily ever after for us. Wasn't everything you did in the name of resurrecting Necromaton as a god? Judging by how things unfolded, the final requirement for Necromaton for divinity must have been... That is why Malkuth has become Necromaton. We didn't want to lose her. Achieving master divinity with eldest sister as the vessel was one of the innumerable plans we had set in motion. The one possibility we dreaded. And yet, here we are. Our master intended to cross the paths to godhood by traversing through each of the Sephira. That was when we offered to convert all of Coldest into the Steel Continent. Then, master would become a god of that world. But what about everyone living in Coldest? People would be safe from the continent's ability. Humans are adaptable. They would learn how to survive one way or another. This way we could fulfill our master's desire, to rule as the god of mediation. In that way, they would no longer be needing need for eldest sister to die. So he wanted to trade Coldest for Malkuth. Yes. Do you not think that it is going too far? Too far? Too far? How could you ask that? Tell me, what would you do if your precious teacher over there died? Now do you see why that's a ridiculous question? We all have things we can't afford to lose. If you see an opportunity for you to protect what's important to you, you should not take it. And I can just say I can sympathize with them a little bit, you know? I can sympathize with that. But there is one thing that doesn't make sense to me. You were created before your sister was, yes? So how is it possible that... Still put into words. You understand my confusion? I see. Even before we met our sister, we cherished her. How could someone we'd never physically seen be so precious to us? I suppose it's something unique to us. If someone can't fall in love, just program into them before you ship them out. Wait, what are you saying? Exactly what you think. We were created, not born. Humans are molded. people they meet and experiences they encounter mold the type of people they become. We begin life knowing who we are and what we need to do and whatever other data we were booted with. Since I opened my eyes, there was one data set that rang in my head. Love and cherish your older sister above all else. I may not have been provided the reasoning behind including such a fickle mechanic, but it is a rather obvious guess. That's the most rational and effective method. Rational and effective. You're well acquainted with those kinds of tactics, aren't you, Suki Rio? It must make sense. If you had something you needed to store and keep in pristine condition, how would you protect it? A rational solution would be to configure the tools, us engineers, to have an abnormal level of affection and protectiveness towards the target. That's it. That's the story. It's a bland, boring story about three little sisters who were cast for the role of fools, and the fate of their elder sister was to be a sacrifice in the pursuit of divinity. The affection levels that were pre-programmed in those tools may have gone slightly out of control. And the result is what you see around us. It's still continent. Please do not speak like that. It hurts to hear. It's strange. You're the one who's strange to us, you know. I think it's strange that you think it's. I think it's strange that you think it's strange. I think all this human stuff is strange. What does it even mean to have feelings for someone? I define my like for elder sister. What even is this god we're supposed to be so obsessed with? Did someone really just ascend into divinity? But we had no choice. There wasn't such thing for us, free will for us. We were unknowingly playing our roles perfectly right from the very start. If only we had never been born, never been created, then we wouldn't have to experience the suffering. Hey, what are you gonna do to us? Huh? You tried really, really hard. Huh? Sensei? Right. Sensei always. You made the best of a bad situation. What? Hey, are you an idiot? We're the ones who wanted to turn your home into a barren land of steel. Huh? But... what? You all worked so hard to find a solution where no one would die? That's... Buzz off! You think we did all this for your sakes? We don't care what happens to any of you. Not in the slightest. I don't understand. Weren't we... your enemies? Ones needed to get rid of? Even so, I want you all to live. Regardless of circumstances, no matter what happens. I want you all to have a happy ending, too. Why does it matter to us? Well, his sister is gone. No matter where in this world we go, she will be gone forever. What reason do we have to continue living? What do you think you're doing? Get your hand off my head! There's nothing for you can do to change our minds. It'd be nice if we could find pretty reasons for why bad things happen. No one needs to ever suffer. Things like pain, sadness didn't exist. If living in this world could just be a little less overwhelming, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Why? How can you say such things? Isn't it obvious? Because that is who Sensei is. Hmm? That's who Sensei has always been. What one is born with. All this time, weren't we just acting according to our programming? Sure, but it's not so different for humans. We're also programmed to love. What? That's possible? I've never heard of that before. Yes, unconditional love a parent has for the child, and the reciprocal love a child has for the parent. And every day, people fall in love with each other. But But not every single human is like that, right? Of course, humans have exceptions, differences too. But our genes are our own preset programming. We're born and created in some ways too. We live with those things every day. Genes, programming. Those people whose genes weren't programmed to love. Natural selection weeded them out. That's how human life was preserved all this time. The ability to love one another is what makes us human. And you loved your eldest sister. Even if that love was artificially implanted into us, you think that reality and artifice are all a matter of perspective? Want to know why we decided to create the Steel Continent? Because we did it for eldest sister. It was all to save her. What do you mean? How could that be our salvation? Is evidence of an obvious truth? You did this out of love for your sister. More than anything, that shows your character. You're excusing what we've done. No matter how the world may condemn us, you know that we were doing what we could. But from a human perspective, do not condone our actions. In the end, I really am a bad adult. I'll throw your words back in your face every chance I get. That was just simply because of lack of information. So, you just have to start over. Yes, as long as you take the opportunity when it arises, you can start over. You only have to take the first step. I have no right to try to stop your crying. I will never be able to truly understand the pain you're enduring right now. However, what I can do is empathize with your grief. If I lost Sensei, or Ki, Momoi, Midori, Yuzu, Emi, Toki, Imari, or Ryo, if I lost any of these people whom I love, I do not know if I could bear the sadness. I mean, we already saw what would happen to her if Sensei died with the whole chroma shit. She turned evil. You know nothing about us. You are right. I do know nothing. I may never be able to feel another's pain exactly as they do. What's impossible is impossible. I was not programmed with that feature. I would still like to do what I can. But you can? Yes. That is why I have a request of you. Ein, Sof, Hour. Will you be my friend, please? Friend? What? I wanted to be your friend since we first met. As your friend, I would be honored to carry some of your grieving. Being able to cry alongside someone who was suffering can give that person the strength to fight to the end. Sensei taught me that. Elder sister is... yes. And if the thought of our friendship is too much to abide by, if your hatred of me and my friends runs too deep, I will understand. Ooh. I remember that. I will listen to any and all your feelings. And I will try to accept all of them. I cannot seem to forget. The memory of you declaring that life is suffering keeps playing in my head. And I believe you are correct, because it's something Sensei taught me. That promise of tomorrow comes a guarantee of loss. And every next day, it's possible that more bad will happen than good. It's easy to speak of vague hopes of a faraway future than to look to a frightening tomorrow in the eye. It's easy to look at the past with rose-colored glasses. Like how the illusion of expectations can easily color the future of optimism. And the present lies somewhere between the two, difficult to grasp or hold on to. It's easy to languish in suffering, to decide that fighting for tomorrow is too much. However, after being Sensei, I have learned that we can also choose not to. It is in those moments of suffering that we must protect our happiness the most. It is then that happiness is our own kind of weapon. Just like Key. What? Key is a friend I am very proud of, one who will always fearlessly lead the charge into battle. She gets very angry very easily at all sorts of things I would not expect, but never stops putting one foot in front of the other. She inspires me all the time. I want to be just like her. My best friend, Key. I do wish she could be less scary when she scolds me. That's all for your own good, okay? See? And Rio's my friend who always comes prepared. Me? She prepares for every single possibility she can think of, and somehow even the ones she can't. No matter how difficult the situation, she'll always try to do something to help. If a blanket's messed up, or even something breaks, she is never deterred. She'll always try to do what's best for everyone, sometimes at the risk of her own safety. I am very blessed to be surrounded by such good people. Ki, Rio, all my friends. And of course, Sensei. That is why I cannot give up. I have decided that I will never ever give up. No matter how bleak the things could come, I will always choose happiness. And I'll always hold out my hand in friendship if I can. Friendship. You see, I am still only an apprentice hero. Sometimes it is so frustrating, because I'm still weak and inadequate to protect those around me. But that doesn't mean I should stop trying to help where I can. That is me doing the best I can, in the here and now. Do you remember, Sensei? You told me that life ultimately does not need a higher purpose. Yeah, I do. What do you mean by that? How can that be? Because then that would mean if you could not find your purpose in life, you will have failed or lived incorrectly. To me, that is almost too sad to think about. Does that not sound like a miserable world? If a game had only one job or skill tree for every single person, it is not the people's fault. That is bad game design. Of course, I do not wish to feel sadness. However, I also don't wish to see others feel sad. Yuzu. This is still funny to see Yuzu. Look at Yuzu. It's like, whoa! People can feel happiness by seeing others happy. And feel pain when seeing others suffer. Illusions and hypocrisy. Those are fancy words to dress up a biological response. It's impossible for someone to feel what another person is feeling. Yes, that is true. But I believe we can understand enough to support each other and live on. When Sensei told us that they were glad they met all of us, me, Ki, Rio, and all my other friends, that made them happy. I understand what they meant now. I'm happy I got to talk to you again. So, if you're ready, I'd like to try to be friends. I would be very, very happy if you did too. And maybe we'll be able to feel just enough for the same happiness. Because of humanity, our right to happiness is the one thing we must never, ever let go. I see now. The words of the princess of the nameless gods. Me? No way. I'm Aris, not a princess. Yes, we understand that too. And you would be correct, but what she meant was the power your words hold. A certain charisma that makes people listen. It's an authority of its own, one that comes from inside. The greatest power one can wield with words. But, still don't understand. What even is happiness? You don't know if this happiness is something we are capable of feeling. If it would never hold out its hand to us. But, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Whoa! Fine. My legs! I just barely managed to grab the three as their legs gave out from under the... Sensei? Aha, see you want to siphon away the last whispers of her energy. I'm fitting in for disposable tools. What are you saying? It's simple. It's logical. Us, the prophets. Our only purpose was to make this moment happen. Now that we've completed that mission, you'll... what? What's gonna happen to you? Our master comes. You comes to descend upon Coldest as a god. Huh? Have we had this conversation before? The Steel Continent, the prophets, and us, the engineers, are nothing more than a means to an end. Even if we don't know exactly what happened, we'll probably be disconnected, absorbed, eaten, an amusing thought. Sensei, you should run away while you still can. Huh? What? Maybe you don't want to hear this from us, but I wanted to say thank you. You made us happy. We were happy to hear that we worked hard. We were happy to hear that we did the best we could. And hearing that you want us to live happily made us very happy. What she said. Logically, this isn't a difficult decision, you know? Taking down the evil villains that we wanted to destroy Coldest, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end. Sure, the big bad boss is still lurking around the corner, but one day at a time, right? Liar. You really need to learn to look the other way. I can't argue with that, most of the time. But not right now. You piss me off! If I don't say this right now, I'll probably be mad about this for the rest of my life. Huh? Why? Your superficial attempts at hiding your feelings are appalling. Not a single person is fooled by that flimsy brave face you're putting on. Did you listen to Aris's request? She wants to be friends. Friends. If you're gonna answer her, by just running away? You think you're seriously annoying me to the very end. You're alive, so keep on struggling. Even if it's ugly and you have to crawl and squirm and claw forward, struggle. Keep fighting. Don't just sit there moaning your situation and whine that you want to be happy. Do something about it. It's something you want, right? You'll do anything to get it back, right? At the risk of repeating myself, do something. What do you have to lose? Something we want. We want to see our sister. Doesn't matter what it would cost us. We just want to see her again. There's still so much I have to tell her. Many lifetimes of things we have to do together. But we can't. This wasn't how I wanted to say goodbye to her. Not like this. Whoa! Everyone watch out! Huh? The floor beneath me quite literally disappeared. Sensei! Uh-oh. Sensei! We just got dropped in a hole. New sky, new land. Uh-oh. Gah! Sensei? Oh, Sensei! Am I gonna fall forever? I won't let you get hurt again, Sensei. Yes, we're here this time. We'll keep you safe. Shooting chest, enacting an emergency protection protocol. Forcing entry into the world. We did it, Plana! Yes, we did. A light and easy task for us. Duh, as long as Sensei has us. Oh. Oh, there goes the tablet. Ah! As I became more aware of my surroundings, I realized I couldn't move a muscle. I was bound tightly all over. And the Sheetum chest was just out of reach. The tense Sephira was revealed to fulfill its role in the cycle and departed. Uh-oh. I am me. My existence simply is. I am the beginning and the end. Yes, I am precisely what you suspect me to be. I need not expound further, for I am both my own existence and validation. The Chromaton! Yes, so that you can apply human labels to suit your instincts, I'll allow that name. For I am no longer a single existence, but an ubiquitous presence fusing with the sky and the land and the very air you breathe. All of it is mine. The sky will hang above us all by my permission, the land reformed by my liking. It is I who summoned you to the depths within the depths. It is I who saved you from your fall. There's the fucking vending machine. On the day of the research facility exploding, the carefully constructed wheels of my plan were set in motion. And since the moment of Kether, of its own free will, rescued me from the depths, this end was inevitable. So I finally realized that validation must be granted by oneself and cannot be accomplished with another's will nor power. And that, unless I became one myself, no other can be my replacement. Bless the most radiant supreme crown. My humble heart shall open itself to overflowing faith. With the power as my prophets, the creations, I have at last arrived at the chosen place. The time is right. Once again, I strained against my bonds as hard as I could. The sheeting chest was just out of reach. That inscrutable chest. I remember things I did not know, the things beyond my comprehension. I was cast away for those things I learned, and the things I did not, never to return. And this is my retribution. I can sever your connection to that chest, for I am now a god. You called me here. Correct. The act of falling has many symbolical meanings. I shall proclaim good news to the poor, freedom for the prisoners, and recovery of sight for the blind. Be not afraid. I shall pull you to your knees, and you shall see what I see. Your eyes will be washed and born anew, and so shall you finally see what you could not be seen. Oh boy. Aris, calm down. I'm sorry. So sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry. I was right there. I could not do anything. Sensei! Calm down, Aris. Sensei will be fine. Key? Can you sense that? Honestly, no. What? We just have to believe in them. Our job is to stay calm and figure out how to get them back. Okay. Might just be you. Don't you think that teacher of yours will be totally fine? I think so too. I wouldn't be surprised if they suddenly unlocked the power to fly because of some mysterious reason we never fathomed. Even though they were just a weak, hailless, ordinary, normal person. There they are. Rio? Naris and Key! Thank goodness you're all safe. No one seems injured. 3 children. Well, the thing is, it's okay, they're my friends. Gah? Your friends? Wow, you really are impressive, Aris. Hello, I'm Softenauer, right? Nice to meet you. I, of all people, have no right to say this, but are you sure, Kamari? I am not, but Aris seems to be, and I trust her implicitly. And you? And me too. Thank you, Aris. You're welcome. Whoa, Toki. Hey, there's my boy Midori. Aris! Oh, there she is. We found them. User, you okay? My head is still spinning. Aren't they? They're my friends now. Do not be afraid, User. Understood. Thank you for the report. I, of all people, have no right to say this, but are you all sure? Did you just... No. However, I have evaluated the situation. Were you to pull any funny business, you will quickly and efficiently subdue you. I see. You're not wrong. Think of us as some wild, declawed animals in a zoo exhibit. What's a zoo, Soft? What's a wild animal? It's a human thing. I know this. A zoo is... Whoa! You have to think slowly with iron, okay? Should get overwhelmed. They're getting along. Isn't that just like ours? So, you said your name was Ian, right? Yes, right. I'm Ian. Hello. By any chance, do you like machines and electronics? Really? She picks Yuzu of all people here? I believe this is what people mean when they say misery loves company. That makes sense. Misery loves company? What kind of a human expression is that? It's, well, to put it simply, it's a way to say that Yuzu and I make a good pairing. That's incorrect. The idiom misery loves company means, for once, learn when to stop talking. Yes. One way or another, we've all managed to gather here with a few extra guests. With our 3 new members, we have a few more options available to us as we move forward. So to begin, let's... By the way, where's Sensei? Oh boy. How silly of you, Emmy. Why ask such an obvious question? Of course Sensei is... Sensei? Sensei? That's right. I'm so sorry. No, I was here. I failed to protect them. Huh? Something happened to Sensei? A hole opened in the ground. Sensei fell through. We have no idea what happened to them after that. What? Yuzu? Are you okay, Yuzu? What is this hole, Rio? How could this have happened? Well, about that. The steel con is converting to its final form. What do you mean? This is what has always meant to happen. According to our World Master's will, the steel con is becoming an altar. Because that's Netzok's original purpose from the beginning. We'd hoped things wouldn't get this far. Victory, mercy, the eye of intellect, and faithful contemplation. Jehovah Tezavat, Lord of Hosts. I apologize for my rudeness in interpreting, but is this not what Sensei... Is that not Sensei up there? What? Huh? What in the world? Fear not. I shall guide you to the altar, where you will take the seat I have prepared for you in my kingdom. Altar? Correct. You possess the authority. It is both your right and your obligation to witness the coming of a new age. All who can hear and listen to my words. The concept you call coincidence is another human contrivance, hidden by the illusion of coincidence. The only truth is inevitability. Like how it is you came to be here. And even that which you will resurrect into. I don't like the sound of that at all. Observations and results. Oh boy. Aris, Key, do you see anything? Yes, I see them. I see Sensei. Sensei is completely restrained, but uninjured. What a relief. Is that an eldest sister? No. No, it's not. Right. I knew that. I know that. Do you see anything else, Key? An entity that appears to be the Chromaton is speaking to Sensei. But there's no way to find out what they're saying. The best we can do is barely watch. How frustrating. If only had my Master's camera set up at the very least. I might be able to get closer visuals. What? Really? How? As we all know, my body is mechanical. I could stream what I'm seeing by sending it to one of your devices. My wheelchair is equipped with a projector feature. We can use that. I really think it's a bike, but not a wheelchair. Wheelchair! Okay. Why is she so obsessed with the wheelchair? Moving on, if you could sync her body's output for a moment, I'll connect us. Display is A-OK. I see Sensei. What a relief. Is audio not possible? Since I'm able already synchronize with the steel continent, I should be able to. You okay, Key? Can't. Security measures they're being finicky. It's probably because this body isn't officially serialized. I'm having to neutralize this counter signal trying to take over me. Want some help? What? Huh? At last, here it lies. The altar of the lowest depths, built upon the highest heights, where all things gather and all can be seen. Our offerings are complete. The demand for sacrifice is satiated. Upon this land do I etch my commandment of steel, unbreakable and indelible. And I shall at last grant you eternal freedom and peace. But the steel continent wasn't exactly your doing, was it? How's that? I can hear them! Himari! Got it. I'll turn up the volume. But this steel continent wasn't exactly your doing, was it? It's Sensei's voice! Yeah! If you don't mind me asking, why'd you help us? Well, we weren't doing anything else, I guess. Well, what I meant was that, Key's body. Yeah, Key's body's similar to ours. So I just, figured we could help, okay? Now, Soft, you should be more honest with them. And yourself. You shut up. Boo, you even abused me in front of all these people. You have no shame. Moving on. To be honest, this is also because we wanted to eavesdrop on their conversation, too. The audio quality leaves something to be desired, but we can make do with this. They're talking again. I see. So your eyes also begin to see, Sensei. You were correct. Those children made this continent. This is the result of their free will. And what is your answer to that? Why, respect, of course. I respect their ability to choose, and so I shall respect this continent that they have created. This too was an inevitability, and our glorious ends will at last justify the means. Bear witness to my new covenant. See the land before you and the sky above you, and know this brand new world is of my making. And I shall bequeath this unto you. Huh? What did it just say? How? You shall oversee my kingdom as my oracle. You shall be the witness to the new commandment from here to the ends of the land. My current contract's not up for a while. Sorry. Pass. A predictable answer. However, Sensei, have you noticed not ever craved power? Were there not moments when you faltered, cursed your own helplessness in the face of insurmountable circumstances? Has that thought never crossed your mind? That, if you had just a little more power, if you were just a little stronger, that you could shield your students from danger, protect them from the crossfire? Oh, yep. Yeah, there's that. Hi! It's only natural. I know. I understand. And that is to be human. That is the sin of mankind's helplessness. And yet, it does not have to be so. The power is what you need. I shall grant it to you. You possess the authority. I have observed you. You have arisen from the depths to exist within the minuscule fold we call the present. You are here because you are not special. It is precisely because you were not born to be anyone that you have achieved the things you have. There was one reason you were able to enter this place we call Kavodos, because you are good. In this world, there is the mystic, sublime. There is terror, magnificence, solemnity. I probably botched that word, and transcendence. You are none of those things. You who are unique precisely for your ordinariness. To this world, you are your own mystery. However, in my ascension, I've come to know. Until now, you are common, a teacher, nothing more, nothing less. Now, by my grace, you shall rise to a new position of power. In Oracle? What does that mean? What is it? It means exactly what it sounds like. The fact that it's being offered to Sensei. Sensei would become a retainer for all of existing knowledge. And in that, Sensei would represent its will. The things that what this place is, what kind of concept of master's has become. And moreover, who Sensei shall be in that position. And how the Oracle upholds its teachings. One way to deal with the dangerous enemies is through converting them to your side, I guess. The Chromaton is recruiting Sensei then. Poaching. We can confirm one thing to be true. What's that? At least for now, Chromaton does not intend to harm Sensei. I do have one question. Why? What was the point of all this? A world with no god to worship is a cold and harsh one. There are an incontrovertible, I hate big words! Incontrovertible truths to this continent's existence. Fate is written in stone. All that lives will eventually die. Yes, living beings cannot help but lull themselves into a false sense of immortality. And that dissonance is what causes sorrow and struggle. A godless world where one is one of harsh endings and pain. The miserable have nowhere to seek salvation. Sinners cannot be granted forgiveness. With no God, the weak are left to rot, and no good deed goes unpunished. God's righteousness, both justice and judgment, patience and equality. Living without God is suffered through endless purgatory. This world was empty without a God. That is why its inhabitants stumble about, purposeless and directionless, lost souls. For we are that of divinity. We too can hatch the egg of the gods, and I shall become the first trumpet blow that wakens the dawn. I shall eradicate sorrow and pain from this world until their very existence is naught but distant memories. Yes, we heard this before too. That the world needs a god, because all effort and suffering, any sorrows inflicted, must be repaid. That's what people call justice, right? Because everyone has a breaking point. Justice is a fickle thing. From what we have seen, from what we've seen, this world has always been corrupt. That's what Master said. Sadness, pain, suffering. If there is a god of creation, why would that god create such a horrible, unbearable things? Exactly. We were created. But even now, we still haven't found the answer to that. You eliminate pain and suffering. Correct. By absorbing everything into the Steel Continent. One of many inevitable paths. By controlling everyone. Correct. Your instincts may reject this, however, you will come to see that this is the way. I shall lay down the path with Chocola's wisdom and cast judgment with Chezid's mercy. In my new kingdom, the prophets shall each fulfill the duty of fate as assigned them. I can't be everything. What is done cannot be undone. About how bad I wish I could do everything for them. What's impossible is impossible. We'll go on our own. We'll go on doing the best we can. We'll never stop our ugly human struggle. And above all, we'll do right by each other. Sometimes, to enlighten someone, we must lie. But even so, one thing still remains. And what about those sisters? What about those little kids' pain? A cog in the wheel. Sacrifice was required so that we may move forward. They were the final sacrifice, one that would open the door to eternal peace. I'm suddenly rather angry. Furious, in fact. Rio? The past me followed the same kind of logical process the Chromaton has here. It's not that I can't follow its reasoning. But just like me back then, the Chromaton drew its own conclusion from this logic and acted recklessly. Sacrificing a few for the sake of the greater good is wrong, yes? Yes, that was the lesson I learned. But I wonder... what Sensei's answer would be. Oh, shit. Human answer. Human answer. God damn, what's going on? I'm gonna wrap it up here because we're getting into that point. So when we come back, we will continue the story. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.